Hey tubers, welcome back for another adventure. And one could see we're finally getting a little color change here and all. How does it go? Merry, happy Columbus Day. Some people have 3-day weekends. Hopefully you're one of them. I'm going to be talking in this video, so if that's going to bore you, please move on to something else. And I won't waste your time. But in the meantime, for everybody else, let me tell you about the last few days. I had a destination wedding to go to that was in the Catskills. Before I went there, I had to swing by Sears to pick up eyeglasses, right? I go to an eye surgeon to get my eyes tested, and then I go to Sears to pick up the glasses. Well, they told me I had all this credit that I had to use, and I'm like, what do you mean credit? Oh, you got Sears points. I'm like, what's Sears points? And they said you have to spend $35. So I picked this up at Sears, and I picked up this Stanley Fat Max case, which has a gasket all around it for keeping things nice and dry. And I also, if you guys remember that ratchet that was floating around, I got a new one from them, and I went with the American-made ratchet. They probably filled it up with China-made parts, but the American-made ratchet, I'll take it. What I like to do if I've been away for a few days, I leave my buddy Chuck in charge, and it's the beginning of deer season, so he probably spent every daylight hour on this property somewhere hunting deer. So I'm just taking a quick look around to make sure everything is the way it should be, and I'll keep talking in the meantime. Anyway, on Friday when I went to Sears, well, actually Thursday, I noticed it. I kind of pulled a muscle in my leg, and it seemed to be getting worse and worse. It was, you know, so by Friday, by the time we got to the resort, I was barely able to walk. But while we're driving up, I'm noticing our resort is parked right next to an abandoned resort. So I don't know what that means to you guys, but to Harvey, that means fun time, no matter how much it hurts. So I talked my younger son into, no, the first time I went, did I go by myself or did I take him with me? Anyway, I think I went by myself the first time. Yeah, I think I went there 3 times. So the first time I went there by myself. So here I'm roaming around this resort, which is 150 acres with tennis courts, swimming pool, ice arena. And it's all there, high-rise buildings, all abandoned. I mean, it was just amazing to roam around there. No juice. I have to check that. So, yeah, everything looks like it should in here. We'll be talking about this mess in here soon, too. So here I am roaming around this resort, and I brought the camera. I guess it was there for, I don't know, maybe an hour. And, you know, I limped on home, or limped to my room. So I got some video, but I only explored about 1/3 of it. So now, like, I'm really curious. I really want to get to the better stuff. So I talked my younger son into going back with me. So here we are roaming around this abandoned resort. It was like apocalyptic. If you're kind of in the center court of the resort, you're looking at all these abandoned buildings with broken windows, you know, curtains kind of poofing in and out of them. We did go into some of the buildings, though I shouldn't admit that, but when I put up the video, one will be able to see. Obviously, I went into some buildings, but we were very careful not to go into buildings that that were locked. Like, we didn't pry any doors open or break any windows or, you know, do any damage that wasn't already done. One of the coolest things we took note of, though, was one of the buildings. It's a high-rise, I don't know, 10 stories, 12, is set up for demolition. So as we were walking around, we kept seeing these painted triangles, you know, at regular intervals as you go around the building. It's kind of a round building. I don't know, trapezoid, I don't know, whatever you call it. Anyway, there were all these marks where they'd cut out a patch of carpet and mark this triangle and all. And we figured out that what they do is they plan on putting charges there and blasting and taking that particular part of the hotel down that way. So, I mean, it was a lot of fun. So I went there the second time with my younger son, and we saw about another third of it. And then the last visit, I was able to go there with both my sons and roam around, which is, you know, kind of cool when your kids have the same interests that you do. So obviously, you know, we were paying a lot of attention to make sure that, you know, we weren't taking anything or vandalizing the place or doing anything like that, right? I mean, the last thing we needed was to draw any attention to ourselves. Not that I think anybody would care. We did run across a maintenance person who told us that the place has been unused since 2009. I think there might have been some caretakers or somebody living there a little bit longer than that, but it's been unused as a resort since '09. And then look at that, I found my buddy's tree stand. So he was able to be right up on that tree and keep an eye on my house. That's a great thing. He said, though, they really cut back on the maintenance and so forth in 2006. To get on the property was easy. From the resort we were at, we were able to just walk along the property line at the edge of the golf course, which, by the way, is also a hiking trail. And there were no trespassing signs or anything else. We were able to just, you know, walk from the trail on the resort property we were staying at, and literally just like walk onto the blacktop to the resort next door and follow the blacktop paths to wherever they went to look at the buildings and the ice skating ring and so forth. We also got into a few of the storage buildings that were open storage or maintenance buildings. So it was cool, and I'll be putting the videos of that up. It was a great weekend, other than nursing a wounded leg, which, by the way, now that I'm home and there's not a lot going on, my leg seems perfectly fine, so I gotta figure that out somehow. Felt like hamstring muscle. I probably messed it up by trying to move that grizzly around. That grizzly is just horrible heavy. The 600. I mean, like a three-wheeler, ATC 200. Typically, I can, you know, kind of wheelie it and put the front wheel up and just pick up the back end and roll it onto a truck or whatever. That grizzly, I can't pick up either side of it. I can kind of lighten it a little bit or bounce and move it a little bit, but I can't lift it. And it's really the heaviest bike I've run across that, you know, I mean, I can lift one side or the other on these, but with that monster, there's no even touching it. Well, let me get the other door too. So, I figured I'd take you around for the walk. Hopefully you guys did some sightseeing here at the Hoard. Some of you guys enjoy this, some of you don't. Hopefully, after I said in the beginning that I was going to be a talking video, those who don't want to see a talking video, change the channel. And for those of you who are left, you've enjoyed this. Anyway, I really want to thank everyone for all boy, I can't even talk, all the support that you show the channel. I really enjoy the comments. Some of them are pretty amusing. The suggestions are always helpful. A lot of times I'll take into account what's suggested, plus what I kind of want to do, plus what parts I have that are available. Though sometimes the suggestions are hit it out of the ballpark good, and I don't want to, and I just take them wholeheartedly. Anyway, thanks all for watching and commenting and subscribing. Please remember to keep your feet down, your heads up, and get out there and enjoy each and every day. Bye now.